Hi everyone. Yesterday, Joel Jackson on the main page wrote at 10:50. By now, most of you have heard the news in regards to the unfortunate situation of us losing our liability insurance as a city. This is something that this council has been warning about for the last 2 years. Corporate counsel has been warning about it as well. Let me be abundantly clear. This is not pointing fingers. This is not passing a buck. This is not lack of accountability. This is 100% facts. The fact we're in is a situation right now is 100% our current mayor's fault and the prior untrained, undisciplined police department. 100%. Every time this council put out fires, unfortunately, the actions of the mayor and in that previous untrained police department set 2 more fires. A police department that was completely emboldened by the mayor. This council and this council alone took the appropriate steps to reform and improve the police department. We took steps to keep them accountable for their actions. The mayor and her supporters demonized us and fought us tooth and nail for doing so. And even after the council took steps to reform and improve our police department, the mayor still found additional ways to cause more lawsuits. So these are just the facts. I'm just being 100% completely transparent here. This is what we have been going on. What's been going on, and the Melvindale taxpayer need to know, because unfortunately we are the ones that are going to get hit with the bill. All of these talking heads on Facebook, they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about, are not grounded in any way of reality, nor do they care. They're just angling for positions that they think they have as a chance of getting in the future. But putting that aside, going forward, this council can still limit the damage that has already been done, but continue to put in measures to protect us from careless actions like this in the future. But we have a mayor that continues to break the charter, take money she has no business taking, do things that she absolutely has no authority to do, when we're going to continue down the same disastrous road that we continue, unfortunately, are right now. Again, people can say what they want. It doesn't change reality. But I'm just going to keep screaming what I've been screaming the last 2 years. So that maybe in the next 2 years, we won't be running into the same issues. Accountability has to be taken. That accountability lies with the mayor, because the council, along with corporate council, has been diligent in putting our fires out left and right. In response to that post, from yesterday, since I'm no longer allowed to respond on that page, is Mr. Jackson. You are always pointing fingers at the mayor. First of all, running a city takes collaboration. Your opinion is opinion of a council person. Okay, there's 6 of you, and 2 of them repeatedly on most of those decisions, about 85% of them vote no. So that's the opinion of you and the person you appointed to a seat, Marcy Willer, and then Stan, who always votes with you guys. That I don't think he should really start speaking and doing things and forming his own opinions and being, instead of being the yes person. And then finally, Dawn Frautel. I cannot see any of her comments on here. You are saying she's inexperienced. My issue is, Joe, you have spent 6 years total on council. She spent 8 years as council under Stacy, and she worked with Carl, and she also worked with my neighbor Dave. During that time period, there was none of this going on. And my answer to you, calling her inexperienced, is just another way for you to discredit her and put the focus on her from your guys' decisions. And truthfully, you have been pointing me out to everyone too. And my answer to you is this. I have repeatedly put steps and points of action, and I was trying to point out ideals, and you're telling me what you have done is not answer any, address any of my ideals. You're just addressing me and attacking me. So that just explains to me that you don't have the answers. You can't answer my, you don't have a response to my suggestions. And what that suggests to me is that you don't know what you're talking about and you don't have a corrective plan to fix this, okay? So instead of answering the merits and angling at other council seats, I'm going back to school and I'm exploring 3 pathways. I'm exploring about getting certified in finance, in getting certified in grant writing, and getting another certificate, expanding on my bachelor's in business administration. And then I'm exploring the option of taking the test I need to LSAT to try and apply for law school at Wayne State. And before you say, oh, you ain't ever going to do it, that prompts me to say something to you. I might just study to do the LSAT and pass it just to show you that who you're dealing with, because I can guarantee you right now that you cannot pass that. And you couldn't even go to school and take the classes that I did and pass any of them. In management, being in a city structure, you should be listening to everybody that you represent. Not the little good boys club, the little club that the 4 of you guys have going. And Dawn, I can't see any of her comments for some reason, so I'm blocked from seeing anything she says. But you said there's no finger pointing here. So my response to you is, these lawsuits have been a long governor issue. And the 2 people have been running the city since 2013 is Rich Ortiz and Larry, and our city attorney, Larry. And when I come on here and talk, at first I didn't know what I was talking about, but I can clearly say I have made it my mission to know everything by researching the charter. And I'm still not there yet, but what I can clearly see is you're not there. And I have been suggesting over and over and over that you guys get a third-party mediator here to fix these issues between the communication flow that's going on. And I can't believe the dysfunction. You're posting right on a lawsuit on the page. Oh, the mayor caused this lawsuit. The mayor caused this lawsuit. The mayor voted illegally to do this. Well, Joe, you guys voted and made a motion to give you $10,000, not once, but twice. That's against Michigan, our Michigan Constitution, about gifts, because this is not serving us, the public. It's serving you, and you're getting sued not in relation to working, doing your job as a council person. This was outside council hours. This happened 2 days before a council meeting. You went into a room, her office, our secretary's office, and screamed and hollered and carried on. And it doesn't matter if the other case was thrown out, or basically it was due to lack of evidence, but the civil cases are based on all different merits. And what we had here is people witnessing and, well, not hearing, screaming and carrying on from you. And you had no business going to her office and screaming. So that leads me back to the improper way that you guys voted in creating a motion. You can't do it that way. You can't. You have to have a resolution. You have to have the reason why you decided to give you $10,000, how it benefits the city, and what the risk is involved by giving you that money. Now let's talk about Dawn's case. The city paid for her case against Diane Betts, and Karen Frederick. The case has already been tried and she lost. That money is now a gift because anything to do with the public is mute. And you guys did not form a resolution. You guys did not explain how it benefits the city. You guys did not do a risk assessment. You guys didn't go to the MMA. So all I can say is that is not right either. And that money should be paid back. And not only now the city took on that risk because they paid for her attorney, and now that opens up the city for more lawsuits because with Karen suing her now, and then you guys voted to remove her from all those seats, all her seats, now, you know, her seats, commissions. What you guys have done now is opened yourself to another civil rights violation. And then you keep pointing and pointing and pointing at the mayor and saying she's inexperienced. Really? She has 8 years. You have going on 7. Who are you to say anything? This is a matter of power and control here. This is because of our government failures. This is because of an outdated charter. This is because of not following proper procedures. And I just gave you one right there of just, is this an example that this happened recently? And that we're trying to stop you from performing your jobs. That the police department, you know, there was some situations going on there, and it seemed to be always revolving one person. But what I'm understanding is this is not something that happened like over like a year. This happened since 10 years ago or longer. I find cases online from 2017 regarding this person. So this is government failure. This is straight up government failure, and having to pay out a $1 million lawsuit because of this situation. This wasn't because of the mayor, not at all. And you pointing fingers and saying you guys, the city paid out $1 million was because of the mayor, and she managed to find you a whole bunch of other lawsuits. Well, you managed to find us some too, civil rights violations. How's that? And it's an open case. Anybody can go online and look for it and read exactly what it's about. So even if you know, it's just a matter of now we're paying out all this money for your attorney. You are always overstepping your bounds as a council person. There's an executive branch and there's a legislative branch. Just like we have a president and a Congress. And exactly, you guys have done everything you can to stop her from performing her jobs. By, first of all, limiting her ability to look at all the budgets, anything to do with the city money-wise. She should be aware of exactly what's going on in each department with accounting. There should be statements, and none of those are provided for her. And in the last 2 years, Richard says, "Oh, she's been approving these budgets." She has not. She wasn't even seeing them. So, yeah, what you guys are doing is opening yourself up to a huge lawsuit, another lawsuit, and basically a class action lawsuit. And the more people know what's going on, it should be. And then you guys are screaming 2 years. You guys been screaming for 2 years because your candidate, Marcy Wheeler, lost, and you guys hate it. And then when Julie resigned, you put him in that spot when he lost, and he says he's going to fix anything. You tell me in the last year, what has he fixed? Not a damn thing. Because you guys are a little group of people, and people have found you guys over at the bar having your drinks. There might not be a quorum, or maybe there not be. I don't know how many of you were involved, but you guys have these conversations and plan all this stuff. And then you're pointing fingers at the mismanagement of this government for the last 10 years. And even before I got into politics, somebody that was on council for 8 years was telling me this. He was telling me that the council had very little power, And the person that has all the power is our city administrator. He tells you about the reports that he wants you to see. He explains everything to you the way he wants to explain everything to you. There's no more separation of powers. He's the power de facto, an unelected official that you guys keep. He started off as $96,000, and that was a pay back in 2015, and now in 2026 he's making what, almost 250,000. That's a lot of money and a lot of raises for one person. So, and you guys have been constantly voting on that. You gave him and the city attorney 35 and 35 and 25. And if you think that's voting in the best interest of this city, and you guys are doing your job, and you guys are being an advocate and speaking up for the residents and doing what is right for the city, you would never have voted for that. I don't know what you're trying to pull, and always, always, always blaming everybody else. Blaming. Yes, we have a very new police department, and they needed more training, and that's what they're getting right now. But the person that caused all these lawsuits was not a rookie. He and you guys promoted him to a lieutenant and top of everything else. And I don't know if I even want to go and talk to the news tomorrow, because I'm so afraid that I might say something, because I want to paint the city in a good light. But how can you say anything good about it when you got somebody, you and Marcy Wheeler, on here slamming the mayor right and left every single day because you guys are upset that Wheeler laws. It's not a matter of her ability to do the job. It has always been you guys blocking her from doing her job. And it doesn't matter if you don't like her decisions or not. She voided those raises, and you guys overvoted that. To me, that alone demonstrates to me that you guys are making poor decisions for this city. And then about not sending 2 qualified candidates to police academy and saying, oh, we shouldn't add any more to this police department. Well, you know what? You guys already hired this new chief of police, and he wouldn't have started the job till January. He would still be training right now, and we all under new management. We lost 2 good people because of your decisions. 2 good people. Instead, they went to Detroit and Romulus. So you just keep going ahead and letting everybody, misleading everybody, keep attacking me as a person. Because, I had a whole list of ideals and how we can fix this, but you don't want to listen to them because you're right. And I was giving you the list based on my educational background, how this can be fixed. Now what we have to do is go into an insurance pool if nobody else is going to insure us. And then there's going to be a lot more risk. We're going to have a very, it will be more of, we had more coverage now. Now we won't have that coverage, and it's going to be more clear, limited insurance. So I don't know. Let's always blame somebody else. That first of all isn't a responsible adult, and second of all, it's like you're making this like, oh, point the finger here, point the finger here. Basically, guys all should be working together, and there should be a communication specialist there or somebody who can help you guys work together, because this is ridiculous. And then Rich Ortiz needs to do his job, is apply through the charter. And if you guys were allowing her to do her job and make informed decisions and give her the proper paperwork and tell her what's going on, like you're supposed to be doing, like Rich is supposed to be doing, none of this would be going on. And I'm sorry, Marcy lost. He lost in a fair election. And politics is very, very dirty, I heard. And you're going to sit here and post this over and over and over to make yourself look good. But the problem is, you're not making yourself look good. And you're saying, oh, because some of us are uninformed. I think I have spent more hours researching all the budgets, researching all the audits, researching anything more than you ever have. You just been up there running your mouth. I just have to say, um, come at me, dude. Like I said, I'm a whole cup of different tea. And I don't know why I can't see Dawn's comments here. But you know what? It's not about supporting a mayor. It's supporting the mayor and her ability to do the job. And if she makes mistakes, that's because she doesn't have the tools to do her job. And one of the biggest tools she don't have is a secretary, like every other single mayor has ever had. You know, and even if she tried to get a secretary in there, you would overvote it and put the person that you want in that position. So basically, she wouldn't be able to trust that person because that's the person you put in there and wanted, and that person would probably be reporting back to you. I already know now how this works. I'm learning really fast how this works. And you know what? Our city is probably the most dysfunctional one anywhere. And believe it or not, coming from my background that I had, this doesn't go on anywhere else. And this type of behavior isn't allowed anywhere else. And basically about recalls, I am so terrified that they're going to put you, if she does resign or get sick, that you're going to become mayor. Because you have totally demonstrated that your behavior is erratic, that you like to scream and holler and carry on. And you always are pointing fingers. You don't know how to accept accountability, and you don't know how to listen to people. And that's two of the strongest qualifications that anybody could have. And you need to know how to bring people together. And I'm just tired of this. I mean, I know what's going on now. I know almost got the complete 99% picture. And I'm just tired, and I'm going to keep speaking up. You come after me, dude. What I will do is, if you want me to start sharing my research online, like every single law case, at least back to 2017, I will do that. This is a clear case of failure, government failure. And then putting it on the mayor that's only been in office for 2 years isn't one of it. And then bringing this to the end of the subject, I would like Rich Ortiz to explain to me why we have a 40-year loan out. That what happens, there's low payments that's supposed to be attached to our finance through our water bill. Everyone's saying we don't have. It's a 2022B. So explain that to me. And how come it was like $25 million and all we needed left on this project was $1.6 million? I just, that's the reason why I'm going back to school, because some of the things I don't understand, and I have just enough experience with the county and know that something's not right. So, I don't know. And lawsuits, that's like the pot calling the kettle's black. Right there online is your name. And then you not disclosing you're a felon. I don't think people are going to want a felon leading the city. And it doesn't matter if it's 20 years ago. That just demonstrating you have a gun charge. And what ended up happening is you didn't disclose it. And, you know, you didn't have to disclose it. But people didn't know the picture about or anything. I've made mistakes in my life. Everybody does. But, you know, people would have been more accepting if you said, this is what happened. And I'm going to disclose this because, you know, this is part of something. And then this said that, you know, it's resolved and I'm like 20 years older and I was pretty young back then. I mean, to me, a lot of people would have understood that, but you hiding it, people don't understand at all. And telling me I'm uninformed and I don't know. Oh my God, have I done so much research, hours and hours and hours. In fact, I don't even go to bed sometimes because of what I've been reading. And we do need leadership. We need a new city administrator and we need a new city attorney. And to double down and keep them. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot more people out there with better skills and mostly negotiation skills than what we have going on right now. And if each person admits, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that any of these positions are 100% correct or 100% right. What I'm saying is you can agree to disagree and then work and come together and figure out a way to work together. But that's not going to be the case because you guys already had it in your mind from day one. You're not going to work with this mayor. So, like I said, this is more than just politics anymore. This is slander, big straight out slander. It's abuse of women. Screaming and hollering, that's abusive behavior. What I saw that you did to her in that council meeting was abuse. And I'm sorry. I'm just I don't know. I'm rambling now, but I'm done.